Welcome to the IELTS reading lesson. Today we will study IELTS 18 Test 1 Passage 1, Urban Farming. This article has 13 questions. The first 3 are sentence completion, the next 4 are table completion, and the last 6 are true/false/not given. We divide the questions into 3 types: keyword location, synonym replacement, and logic comparison. Knowing the types helps us find the right way. For completion, find keywords. For true/false, compare carefully with the text. This article has 6 paragraphs. It is a typical science article about an urban farming project in Paris. From passage 1 to 3, introduces the Paris rooftop farm, its founder, and the benefits of the soil-free method. From passage 4 to 5, explains how the soil-free method works, its cost, and the global trend of urban farming. From passage 6 to 9, discusses the price of produce, growing limits, and future prospects. Heat map shows, the first 7 completion questions are mainly in passage 1 to 5, true/false questions are in passage 5 to 9. Next is the note completion for Q1-3. One-word limit, mostly extracted directly from the text. Let's look at question 1. The blank is after row upon row of. We need to find a type of vegetable. Clue words are identical vertical tubes and burst. The blank should be a plural noun. Let's go to paragraph 1. Find the part near identical vertical tubes. The text says from identical vertical tubes nearby burst row upon row of lettuces. The answer word lettuces is directly given here. So the answer to question 1 is lettuces. Let's look at question 2. We need to fill in a number in the diagram. It describes the daily harvest amount when fully operating. Before the blank is harvest up to, and after it is of fruit and vegetables. So we need a weight unit here. Let's locate paragraph 2. Find the sentence that describes the full operation. The original text says 20 staff will harvest up to 1,000 kilograms of perhaps 35 different varieties. The answer 1,000 kilograms appears directly in the text. So the answer to question 2 is 1,000 kg. Let's look at question 3. It asks about the percentage range of the target consumption. The blank is after 5% to 10% of, so it should be a noun. At the end of paragraph 2, Hardy mentions this percentage. The original text says target may be between 5% and 10% of consumption, which directly gives the answer. So the answer to question 3 is consumption. Next is the note completion for Q4-7. One-word limit, mostly extracted directly from the text. Let's look at question 4. The statement says fruit and vegetables are treated with 17 different things. We need to find this noun. The clue words are 17 different. The word before the blank is treated with, so the answer should be a type of substance. Go to paragraph 3. Find the unique number 17 different in the sentence inside quotation marks. The original text says have been treated with something like 17 different pesticides. The answer word pesticides is directly given here. So the answer to question 4 is pesticides. Let's look at question 5. The blank is after such substantial, so we need a noun to describe the long process these vegetables and fruits go through. The clue words are such substantial, and we need a noun related to the long travel distance. Let's locate paragraph 3. Hardy is complaining that the vegetables and fruits travel a long distance in refrigerated trucks. The original text says varieties are selected for their capacity to withstand such substantial journeys. Journeys is the answer, and it is directly given in the original text. So the answer to question 5 is journeys. Let's look at question 6. 80% of the price goes to wholesalers and transport companies, not who. Before the blank is not the, so we need a noun for a person. Go to the end of paragraph 3, we see 80% of the price I pay goes to wholesalers and transport companies, not the producers. The original text directly gives the answer word producers. It means the people who grow the food. No replacement needed. So the answer to question 6 is producers. Let's look at question 7. The statement says you can select crop varieties for their flavor. The clue word is flavor. The blank is after for there, so it needs a noun. Locate paragraph 4. In Hardy's words, flavor is mentioned. The original text says you can select crop varieties for their flavor. The answer is directly given. So the answer to question 7 is flavor. Let's look at question 8. The statement says, urban farming can take place above or below ground. The key words in the statement are above or below ground. We locate paragraph 5. The text mentions rooftop farm and underground car parks. The original text uses rooftop farm and underground car parks, which match above ground and below ground. The statements above ground is replaced by rooftop farm, and below ground by underground car parks. This is a clear synonym replacement, so the statement matches the text. So the answer to question 8 is true. Let's look at question 9. The statement says some aeroponic equipment can be made by hand. The key phrase is made by hand. Let's go to paragraph 5 and look for information about equipment. The text says the equipment is cheap to buy, but it doesn't mention being made by hand. The passage talks about equipment, but the idea of made by hand is completely missing. So it's not false, it's not given. So the answer to question 9 is not given. Let's look at question 10. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other types of farming. Please pause and decide true or false. Clue keywords in the statement, relies more on electricity. Locate paragraph 5. Scan for the landmark phrase, consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity. The original text says, consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity used by some techniques. The statement says relies more on electricity, but the text says consumes a tiny fraction of the electricity. These directly contradict each other. This is an antonym replacement. So the answer to question 10 is false. Let's look at question 11. The statement says fruit and vegetables from an aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than traditional organic produce. Key clue words are cheaper and organic produce. Locate paragraph 6. The scanning landmark word is soil-based organic growers. The original text uses the phrase lower than soil-based organic growers. The statement cheaper is a synonym for lower than, and organic produce is a synonym for soil-based organic growers. They match perfectly. So the answer to question 11 is true. Let's look at question 12. The statement says most produce can be grown on an aeroponic urban farm at any time of the year. The key clue word is at any time of the year. We locate paragraph 6. The scanning landmark word in the text is suited to the summer months. The original text says much of the produce is suited to the summer months. The statement says at any time of the year, but the text says suited to the summer months. These directly contradict each other. This is an opposite replacement. So the answer to question 12 is false. Let's look at question 13. Beans take longer to grow on an urban farm than other vegetables. The key clue words in the statement are take longer to grow and other vegetables. Locate paragraph 6. The scanning landmark words in the original text are beans and not much return. The original text says, beans tend to take up a lot of space for not much return. This means beans take up a lot of space but give low profit. The original text only mentions that beans take up a lot of space and give low return, but it does not compare growing time at all. The phrase, take longer to grow in the statement is extra information not found in the text. Also, there is no contradictory information, so it is not false. So the answer to question 13 is not given. Now we move to the trick summary. Let's review 3 common traps in true-false not given questions. Trick 1, opposite meaning. The statement in the question is the direct opposite of the text. For example, question 10 says urban farms produce more than traditional farms, but the text says they produce less. Trick 2, wrong subject. The question talks about A, but the text talks about B. For example, question 12 says urban farms use new technology, but the text talks about traditional farms. Trick 3, not given. The information in the question is completely missing from the text. For example, Question 9 says urban farms are the first, but the text never mentions first. Remember, be very careful when you see absolute words like first, only, or always. Now let's summarize the important vocabulary and paraphrases from this passage. Paraphrase: above or below ground, left right arrow, rooftop farms / underground car parks. Paraphrase: cheaper than traditionally grown organic produce, left right arrow, lower than soil-based organic growers. Completion key terms: lettuces, 1,000 kilograms, consumption, pesticides, journeys, producers, flavor. That's all for Test 2 Passage 1. Hope it helps. See you next time.